prize.
Thank you. Okay, sure.
You can choose what happens with it. I won't do anything without your consent. I'm so glad you're out of there. Thank you for everything you did.
Yeah. Nathan is still inside, and Sammy's still inside. I hope Sammy's good. Because she was with me.
Oh,
right.
Yeah. Yes, I hope we will see Sammy soon.
Were you with Nathan when they tried to fingerprint him? Or not? Were you separated?
I wasn't with him at that point.
Okay. His fingerprints don't show up on the automatic machines. I just happen to know that.
They're affected, are they?
I think he has very smooth hands or something. Because in air, it literally took them almost an hour to get a set of fingerprints. And they had to call a detective in who was not even working, who knew the machine a little better than everybody else. And it was hilarious. By the end of it, we were like, Nathan, you can get away with virtually any crime because you don't leave fingerprints behind.
Yeah, that's fine.
Seems like you were detained. You were form set.
Picture?
Yeah, no, well, we're live actually right now. If you want to move over.
Oh, great. Yeah.
And why don't you move right up here on the grass? And we thought if you were interested, if you wanted to make.
And we disrupted business as usual. They were unable to work in their offices. They had to leave, and it created a commotion. And this was with guidance and relationship with the GNU Collective. So we did this, as a form of embodied solidarity. And it was just such an amazing experience to be in that space with 18 other people, plus the journalists from WBUR.
Could you give us a few more details of what happened last night and some of the events leading up to staying overnight?
Yeah, so several times we were standing in front of the suite that Enbridge had, and several times the police came up to us and were trying to encourage us to leave, and they were using different threats and different tactics to try to get us to leave. And by around 4:30 to 5, they gave up on that, and we just occupied the space around Enbridge's office. We did fearless vulnerability games. We got to know each other. We did check-ins. We had a live stream going, and we slept outside the offices on the floor. We were all trying to find comfort in this not a super comfortable space, but we were with each other. So that's how last night when we were just trying to find as much sleep as possible.
And what was some of the political discussions last night about Enbridge and about the issues?
Yeah, so some of the political discussions around Enbridge were, just like what's the most effective way? What's the most effective way of actually stopping their business, right? And whether it's getting enough people power to like physically disrupt and cause monetary loss, or is it a shift in public consciousness? So there was discussion of that.
It's yours.
Great.
Was that good for answers, or?
Yes, it was great.
Okay.
That was terrific. Thanks.
I sent you his contact info.
Okay. Is Sammy out? Oh, okay. She was first to be checked in, so I thought she was first in, last out. Yeah.
technology has improved. Or my fingers.
Were you up the night before?
Sanding them down a little. Well, that's the next
There's
one.
a story here.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I want to see these really smooth.
No, I don't. No, they're not. Region, this greater Boston region, know a little bit about Enbridge because of the injustices that Enbridge have visited on the communities in West Roxbury and in Weymouth, south of Boston, where they've built a large compressor station, gas compressor station, and that is something that's been dangerous to the community, dangerous to public health, and so we know about the injustices that Enbridge is prone to making. And so when we heard about what's going on in northern Minnesota with Line 3, and we knew that Enbridge was involved, that's all we needed to know, that there was a big, big problem with injustice happening. And the more we read about what they're doing to the land and the water and the livelihoods of the Anishinaabe people in northern Minnesota, and the more that we saw that every legal avenue that had been taken had been and still is being contested for justice there, we knew that we had to act in solidarity, and so that's why we occupied the space in the Enbridge headquarters in Waltham.
Great. And could you tell us what it was like to have the support team outside all through that long period of time?
The support was just wonderful, particularly because we're in record-breaking heat. And although we were confined to the inside of that headquarters, ironically, the temperature was comfortable. But we knew that our supporters were outside in the sweltering heat, risking their own health in order to be there in support of us. And so that support was amazing. When we were a little bit at a bit of a low point late last night, somehow a care package of food arrived and got to us. And I still don't understand how it came to us, but it did, and it just brought a smile to all of our faces, the care of the support team. And that goes for jail support, that goes for legal support, that goes for the people supporting us outside. It goes for the people that were on the Facebook Live that were sending messages of support to us. And we're all just funneling that same message of support and love. And
Something you were one of the people?
No, yes,
No? That was there last night?
I don't want to. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Anybody on the support team want to say anything else? Anybody?
I'm not following that act. Kidding me?
Yeah. Should I kind of recap like?
Yes, that's a good idea. Why don't you give us a recap of what happened and your thoughts on it?
Yeah. So like carrying the collective energy that our friends all being there with us at the Enbridge door. We were there and we told the police that we were there in solidarity with Camp Nemiwag and the GNU Collective, with the Stop Line 3 movement, so that Line 3 is not going to be poisoning our waters and poisoning Anishinaabe sacred land, and in solidarity with the Weymouth compressor station. And they made the choice to arrest people and protect that private property instead of choosing to be in solidarity with the water protectors. And I don't want to make this about in solidarity and seeing what's needed from the Anishinaabe Indigenous leaders, being in care with that and being in care with each other. It's very humanizing in the face of a system that wants to make us feel, of several systems that make us want to feel like isolated, that want to make us feel isolated, and standing strong together. I feel that I'm bringing that with me, and I feel a lot of love for all of the people who've been organizing around this, and so I'm going to be looking to see, what the Canoe Collective, are, but together is how we're going to stop line 3. They're not going to be able to put this line through Indigenous land and poison them, and I'm going to follow the leadership of the Anishinaabe who've been leading this for 7+ years. They know how to get it done. So, yeah.
Great. It's a great way to end it. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks very much.
Yeah.